Well. Look at where we are and where we've come and where we're going. Welcome to the Rider Time podcast here on the Morphin Network. And we are here to discuss Kamen Rider Gavv, episode 45. I won't let anyone take them anymore. But seriously, though, it's the first episode of our end game. Yeah, like it's not an official arc because technically the arc is still continuing from episode 29, but I think it's easier to just digest everything, no pun intended, if we just broke it off into a fourth and final arc consisting of either 5 or 6 episodes focusing on the end game. As we recall, the previous episode was just primarily a clip show episode to promote the movie. It was a clip show episode, and it was there to promote the movie. But, so yeah, nothing that happened from the movie is referenced here. So anyone who's not aware of the marketing schemes that Toei always does, you're probably wondering what's up with that Jeeb, Sheeta, and Nyelv, and what's it called? And Glada that are like hanging around, even though 2 of them are supposed to be dead. And who's this mysterious white rider in that even equally mysterious castle? We don't know. It's hard to say. We don't know. Now, if you were in Japan this weekend, or the past 2 weekends, maybe you will know because you've seen the movie. But as someone who's watching the show and just the show, yeah, we don't know. I guess whatever happened, Shoma defeated this villain, and we're just not gonna talk about it for this episode or any episode after that. If you're watching Gavv like years later, where the movie is probably a lot more accessible, like for example, back in 2019 to 2020, I wouldn't be able to talk about Kamen Rider real time. Kamen Rider Zero won the movie real time, but you know who could? 2025 me, because I have the Blu-ray and the Blu-ray comes with the movie. Weirdly enough, Skits doesn't. Don't have the Skits Blu-ray, but I know that the Blu-ray doesn't come with the Four Aces movie. But the point I'm trying to make is, even whether you watch the show legally or watch the show in dubious measures that will not be mentioned, if you're watching the show as it's airing in Japan, like I am and this podcast is doing, you're probably out of luck when it comes to explaining what happens in the movie or how it relates to the plot. Now, don't get me wrong. In the future, someday, maybe 6 years from now, we will discuss the events of the movie because it will likely be more readily available by then. For the Rider Time Archive, our spin-off podcast where we go back into like older seasons, of course we're going to cover like all the movies and specials of every season, and we have been for Ichigo, X, Fies, Kiva, Gaim and Build, and Amazon's The Remake, and Black Sun, and yes, as of currently, O's. But that's because those are older seasons. They predate 2020. We can easily run through everything involving those movies. And those seasons. And if a new special comes out going over seasons we've already covered, well, hate to break it to you, but those will have to wait until we get caught up on that podcast to the Reiwa era. So while, for example, Fize's 20th anniversary film, Paradise Regained, is something that we were able to cover. Unfortunately, something like Ace for Aces or Revice Battle Familia, or in this case, the Gavv summer movie, yeah, we're not going to be able to cover that until way later. And if, like, let's say, if there's like a 20, no, if there's like a 15th anniversary movie for Gaim taking place 3 years from now, yeah, no, we're not gonna be able to cover that until we get caught up to the Reiwa era. Yes, we finished Gaim up to present day. Anything that there was to cover up to 2025, we've covered it. But anything that happened after 2025, I'm sorry, but we're gonna have to wait for a minute. But yeah, so this move, and we've discussed this intensively when we were talking about Build and the winter film of Kamen Rider Generations Final, which is not even the final of the 3 films, and technically there's a 4th one called New Generations. So yeah, we went over this. Yeah, we're not talking about the movie. We can talk about how in the previous episode how they shamelessly promote the movie, and this episode we could talk about how nothing that happened in the movie probably affected the events of this episode, which I just did. But that's as far as it goes. In the future, we'll plug it into the playlist, but it won't. But we're not gonna cover it anytime soon. Sorry, not sorry. But with that in mind, yeah. With that in mind, let's get into the episode. We're actually moving on with the story where we left off with the plot of episode 44. If we ignore the events of the movie, Niel found one of Shoma's Gochizos and started following it in order to find Shoma. Here we are. This is their encounter. Shoma just finished doing a job. He's at the Happy Pare office resting. One of the Gochizos shows up. And it's like, oh, what's wrong? And then we meet someone who we were hoping not to see.
Oh, hell no!
And yeah, it's Niel. It's like, hello, Shoma. I've been expecting you. Don't worry, I'm not going to fight you. I'm here to talk. I have a proposition for you. For you see, throughout the entire plot of this entire season, I've had my own secret agenda.
We are a secret club because of our agenda. It is a dark agenda. It is an agenda some other clubs may not agree with.
But for real though, yeah, basically he offers Shoma to sneak into the stomach factory and defeat Желудок from the inside and install Shoma as the new leader of the Granute world. And why should I believe you? Don't you get it, Shoma? I've been helping you this whole season. Because it's like, at first I thought you were just some silly human who had a red gauze surgically implanted into your body. Little did I know is that when we tried to turn you and your mom into human presses, you were completely immune. I had a feeling you had some untapped potential. And I've been monitoring you. How do you think you escaped? I let you escape. It's been a part of my agenda.
We are a secret club because of our agenda.
And yeah, I even told the agents to back off. And basically, that's basically what happened. He escaped, and the reason why he wants Shoma in charge is that if he has Shoma in charge, then no one's gonna hunt after humans. There won't be any dark candy. No one will be addicted to dark candy, and therefore, people are just gonna forget. Like, no one's gonna want to go to the human world. We could just close it off. And of course, a leader in the Grand Union needs various qualities. Shaludik doesn't have it. Grandpa didn't have it. Dad didn't have it. Brother Longo definitely did not have it. You, Shoma, you're more powerful than most Granudes, as it turns out. And I'm one of the smartest people in the Granude world. With my brains and your brawn, we can work together. We can rule the Granude world as brother and brother. Okay, that's a little silly, but yeah, no, that's basically the idea. And Shoma's like, oh yeah, well, if I agree to this, you have to return all the human presses back to us, and so we could release them. Then I'll think about it. It's like, really? That's the only thing you wanted? Okay, I'll return them to you tonight. I'm glad we had this arrangement. And I'm like, Yelf was expecting a larger bargain. Imagine if Shoma pressed hard. It's like, oh yeah, and you have to do this, and you have to do that, and you have to do this, and you have to do that. But the fact that just returning 2 giant crates of human presses, it seems like a low ball that Yelp could easily pay up. That's interesting to me, and I know they're not gonna explore that deeper, but part of me wants to explore deeper, not because this is too superficial, but because this is exactly but because it's just a curiosity thing. It's me being morbidly curious. I'm not nitpicking on this. Niel is such an interesting character at this point. And of course, they go to that slope that we always see in Tokusatsu. But what you might not have caught is there is a red agent up on a rooftop in the distance, way over there. Way over there. There's an agent in the rooftop. Did you catch that? I did. Okay, so we don't see Niel for the rest of the episode until the very, very end. So now we could go to our other main plot. We got Hanto and Sachika trying to go walking around, and Hanto just happens to have some aquarium rocks to give to Lakia, because he doesn't know what rocks Lakia eats. We just know that Granudes eat rocks. And, it got me thinking, I'm surprised no one has considered getting rock candy. Yeah, rock candy. It's basically the way rock candy works is you take highly concentrated sugar and water, boil it, and then once it's thoroughly dissolved, you put it into a container, or you put it into a very tall container, and unfortunately, I didn't have any tall containers to do this with. And then you put in a stick inside, and then you just wait for the sugar to crystallize around a conglomerate agent. In this case, it's chopsticks. And basically, as the sugar cools, it latches itself onto other sugar crystal molecules, because that's just how minerals work as it is. And yeah, and by adding a flavoring agent while it's still superheated, you're allowing it to have its own flavor. Obviously, I made some orange ones. I also made some grape ones. They did not come out well. I'm not a rock candy guy, but it's just so odd that, given the fact that it's a show about sweets and one of the main characters literally eats rocks, you'd think, why not give him rock candy? That way, he has something sweet and something that's related to his biology. But no, fish rocks will do. But yeah, this was invented in Turkey around the 9th century, so, well, late 9th century, but there's no real person credited for making this, so that's an interesting thing. But it's a fun science experiment you could do from home with your kids, so definitely enjoy. Meanwhile, Lakia himself, he tries to test out the antidote that Dente made, and he has to turn into his grinding form in order to release his own venom. But it just so happens that just as the test proved successful, Hanto and Sachika showed up unexpectedly, and this is where things get to turn for the dramatic. So I was confused at first that Sachika was like, wait, you did not know that this is Lakia's true form? Weren't you there at the beach? But like, she's like, no, I knew, but I have to know something. Wait, so she was pretending to be happy for the last couple of episodes without confronting Lakia about it. This is probably the strangest part of the season, and that's really saying something, because we're 45 episodes in, and it's been really good so far. And like, even a lot of the moments in this episode are really good, but like, I still don't quite understand. It's like just the sequence of events. It's like, it's been like, what, 1 or 2 episodes since all that happened? And I'm pretty sure you've seen Lakia before this. Why are you having this interaction now? Even like, yeah, you had that clip show episode, sure, and maybe it's only been a day, but it's been a whole day. You had Sachika and Shoma spending a whole day doing a mission where they encountered the kid from the first episode. You had all that time, and you choose now to address it. You didn't address it to Shoma. You didn't address in the previous episode. You didn't address it to Hanto prior to coming to Lakia's basement. You wait until now to bring it up. So I'm gonna ring it up just to hear you sing it loud. She's not scared because she's met Dente before, but she's like, did you use those tendrils that you used on the beach? Did you use them to hurt people? Did you use them to hunt people? And the thing is, what's interesting is that Hanto tried to spin things. But no, Lakia went full frontal. He's like, yes, I was a part-timer. I did use it to hurt people. He didn't even stop to say, hey, but I did it to like find my brother, and I've changed since then. Like you would see in any other sitcom or movie where it's like you were paid to date me. Yeah, at first, but I fell in love with you for real though. So I rejected the money. I don't want to hear it. You still only started dating me because you got paid. By the way, that's 10 things I hate about you. You want to go with Wedding Crashers? It's like, you only dated me because you wanted to get in my pants because you're a wedding crasher. Yeah, at first, but then I fell in love with you. I don't want to hear it. You're a wedding crasher. And God knows how many other things just like that happened in various other rom-coms where it's like, oh yeah, no, it's like you start dating someone under false pretenses and then you fall in love with them for real, and then just when things are getting good, like in the third act, you find out that's like, oh, the secret was revealed, you're an imposter, and then it's like, and then they try to break up, and then they learn they have to make up. I'm glad this only took one episode to take care of because it's such a tired trope. But you could tell Sachika and Lakia have had a thing going on all season. So at least here it's kind of appropriate because yeah, it's like she is torn because she did say, I want Lakia to be happy, but then she feels conflicted because he took away happiness from others. Even though he brought back all the people that he kidnapped and then some, Sachika's just not ready to forgive. And meanwhile, Shoma tries to think about the whole situation with Nyelv, but then he spots Lyselle entering a fortune teller tent. So of course, turns out the fortune teller was a part-timer, and he intercepts them. And yes, she tries to distract Shoma while the part-timer escapes. Shoma contacts the others for support. And yeah, so this Granute is also crappy, just like the one from the first arc, just recolored from blue to yellow. I'm gonna lie though, I actually prefer the yellow coloration over the blue one. It's a lot more accentuated with that yellow and black gradient. Of course, Lakia is first on the scene. He transforms and he tries to help fight off the Granute. And Lyselle's like, I'm going to make a distraction. So he uses her umbrella to blow up a bunch of buildings. And they start collapsing. So, of course, Lakia is going to start, trying to stop those buildings from collapsing on top of other people. He even uses his blaster to remove rubble to help other people evacuate. And, of course, Sachika sees this. And it's like, yes, we have our Rhino Ranger moment right here. And yes, another piece of debris starts to fall on another civilian. Of course, Lakia runs towards the danger in order to stop it. Yes, he doesn't run from the danger. He runs towards the danger. A part of me was expecting him to turn into his Granute form to help prevent it from crushing the woman. No, he just stayed in his Rider form, which was kind of unexpected. Or maybe he stayed in his human form. That's the one detail I'm probably blanking on. But the point is, I was kind of hoping he would turn into his Granute form when he makes the rescue so that Sachika could see that, yes, this jellyfish guy is protecting people. And, that could have been a set off a chain of events where people start trusting more Granutes because you could have this one woman see that she was rescued by a Granute, and then she would go off into the Granute Watch blog in order to say, hey, this one Granute saved me. Maybe they're not all bad. Set off that chain of events, just like the kid from the first episode. That's the main thing. Yeah. Shoma uses K-King and he gives him the offer that he can't refuse. Give up on Dark Candy or be taken out by me. I'm never gonna give. Has anyone ever given up on Dark Candy? It sucks. I love that Shoma always gives them the choice, but aside from the wolf dude that kidnapped Anto's mom, did any of them ever actually decide to reform? Not counting Comer because he never fought Shoma. It's like I love that Shoma gives him the offer. I just wish that more frequently they would say, actually, yes, I will. Maybe one of them might relapse and be like, yeah, no, this isn't working for me. I'm going to need you to destroy me. That'd be an interesting twist. can't believe this is a nitpick that took me 45 episodes to realize. But yeah, so everyone celebrates. Sachika forgives Lakia, they're best friends again. And Shoma senses a presence on the other side of the door. And then when he opens the door, he sees two giant crates full of human presses with a note. So he meets Nyelv on a rooftop at night, who shows him the door to the Granite world. The two of them cross through into the brink, while Longo watches them from the distance. What's going to happen next? Who knows? We'll watch it next week. Yeah, what is there to discuss about this episode? A lot of things. It's actually a really great episode, a breath of fresh air. We actually have a lot of character development, and so late into the game too. It was like you would not expect that. It turns out Nyelv was helping Shoma this whole time, which I have a hard time believing. It's like, I know, like I laid out this plan that was very Forza-esque, but I'm actually glad they're not doing what I told them to do. Because it would be too predictable. Although it would be interesting, because I know that Shoma disguises himself as Nyelv in the next episode, but I don't know how far that's going to go. Now, it would be interesting if Nyelv was double crossing, where it's like, oh yeah, I'm going to trick Shoma into going to the Granite world so that he will become severely overrun and isolated from everyone else. Because, yeah, like he's sacrificing his entire supply of human presses, but when you think about it, it's a small sacrifice to get rid of 1/3 of your biggest problem in getting more human presses than ever. So there's still the chance that Nyelv could betray Shoma. I hope he doesn't, but there's still the chance it could happen. Now, Longo, I'm curious what his deal is. Now, I'm not gonna lie though, given the fact that it's hard to cross into the Granite world, and I know everyone else in the squad is gonna want to follow after Shoma because we are approaching the end game. I won't be surprised that the rest of the team get to the Granite world by using Longo. Somehow, Longo is gonna meet up with them. He's gonna be the one that gets Lakia, Hanto, and maybe Sachika into the other side. What's going to happen to Longo? Who knows? I mean, personally, I hope that when Jeeb's and or Longo's demise are going to happen, I want them both to be present for it. Like, maybe Jeeb is going to attack Shoma from behind, and Longo will take the hit for him, and maybe rebuke him about how Shoma is a better brother than you were, Jeeb. Maybe it'll be the other way around. Maybe Longo will sacrifice himself to save Jeeb. Who knows? Maybe one or both of them will be killed by President Shaluduk. It's very obvious he has gravity powers. What I know that I really want is I really want Jeeb's last moment to be begging Lyselle to help him and have her just leave him to die. I'm bored of you. You're garbage to me. I'm done. I'm out. That's the singular thing I want to see in the next couple of episodes. We only have a month left, maybe a little more, before we finally say goodbye to Gavv. We're at our end game. It's been a fun ride while it lasted. This episode, I give it a 10. It was fantastic. It had everything I wanted to see in the season. And yeah, I can't wait for the next one. No comments here. Yeah, if you enjoyed, please be sure to comment, like, and subscribe to us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Ding the bell icon. Stay notified for our latest videos. And be sure to check out our other content, such as our various convention interviews. We got Ultraman Omega on Mondays, Kamen Rider Gavv on Wednesdays, #1 Sentai Gojuju on Thursdays, and Kamen Rider O's on Sundays. We love you guys. But this week, we're going to do O's a little bit early. We're going to do it on Saturday at 7 p.m. Instead of Sunday. You know, we have to move some stuff around every now and then, but here we are. But we're still gonna give you guys your much wanted and much needed content. Check out our sister channel, The Buttery Show. If you want to check out my personal content, I'm here on Instagram. And if you want to say hi to me in person, I will be at the Burbank Marriott on September 7th for ToonCon for the 20th anniversary of the Batman. And a year from now, I will be at Power Morphicon August 28th to the 30th at 2026 at the Pasadena Convention Center. I can't wait. Mystic Force's 20th anniversary is going to be great. It'll be super awesome. And until next time, have a great weekend. Hope to see you again real soon. Goodbye.